Today we're going to be installing the stainless steel extended bolt release for the AAP-01. Once the screws are removed, we'll remove the safety here while pushing up, and it should come out very easily. Okay, after the trigger pin is removed, we can go ahead and take out the back two pins here. Now that the pins and screws are removed, we can slide the hammer housing up, and we can take the trigger housing and trigger parts out. So select your favorite color bolt release here. Today we're going to be installing the red one. So you're going to take your trigger with the attached trigger spring. You'll then take your bolt release spring and you're going to put it in this orientation. So the long arm on the bottom. You're going to put it right in the corner like this. You'll then take your bolt release and you're going to slide it over the trigger just like this. Now you'll make sure that the arm of this bolt release spring is on this ledge here. We've extended the length of that ledge just enough to make it slightly easier when completing this step. Now that you have your bolt release and bolt release spring in place, you're going to take your trigger housing and you're just going to slide it right over and line up the holes. Hold everything in place as you insert the trigger pin. Okay, once you've slid everything in place, you can now attach your trigger spring just like this. And now you're ready to reinsert this assembly into the lower. In order to completely install the trigger assembly, we're going to remove the trigger housing. So we're going to lift up on the back while we're holding the fire pin lock in place. Now be careful because this is spring loaded. So we'll set that down. We'll then take our trigger assembly and insert it through the holes at the top. We're going to remove the trigger pin while squeezing down with our hand towards the trigger guard at the same time, just like that. So now we're going to line up the holes and push our pin back in place. To reinsert the hammer housing, we're going to make sure that the trigger bar has enough space to move out of the way. As you can see here with the stock trigger safety, it doesn't allow the trigger bar to go back. So we're simply just going to depress the safety to allow the trigger bar to go back into place. You'll then take your hammer housing and you're going to insert it over the trigger bar just like this. You'll then take your fire pin lock, push it down into place. Then you're going to slide your hammer housing down. If your upper lock fell out like this one, just slide it back in and push everything back into place. Now that everything is screwed in place, we can reinsert our safety. So we'll do the word up is facing up, and we're going to slide it into the trigger housing from the left side, and you're going to push it all the way in until it clicks, just like that. So we're going to reinsert the upper receiver and do a function check. We're now going to insert a magazine that's empty. we can see, it works perfectly and it looks amazing.